Thank you very much for joining me. I'm meteorologist Brian Shields. On this Thursday, we're watching a couple strong tropical waves out there. One's actually still a depression. I want to get into that, how that's going to slide into the Caribbean. A front that'll slide closer to the Yucatan and Belize, even Cuba. I'll get into that. And then this system here that brought some severe weather back through Florida. Still watching that with the severe weather potential in Florida. Here we go out here watching two areas, kind of three. This one is not a whole lot. This one here is what was Tropical Storm Sean, but that has been falling apart. I want to show you why, and then I want to show you why the one behind it may survive on the way to the Caribbean and get into the time frame of that. Now, that one that's just off the coast of Africa that looks like it could survive and continue its way toward the Caribbean. Computer models being run on this, everything taking this a little bit more due west. So you just see this, again, this is just off the coast of Africa. The Caribbean would be right over here. But one thing you notice, not a quick curl out of this, moving almost due west. So I want to dive into that. Now, here's what's going on. Here's a crazy map with a ton of colors. Hang with me for a second. I want to show you the differences we're seeing here. Here's the Gulf of Mexico. Here's the Caribbean. Now, right here, this is what was Tropical Storm Sean. I mentioned it was falling apart, right? And here's why. Look at this red shading. There's a lot of wind shear right through here. So as the tropical storm was coming this way, wind shear from the opposite direction was just kind of knocking off the thunderstorm tops from this. And that's why it's weakening. But why would the one behind it survive? Well, the one behind it is a little bit more to the south, not only off to the east here, but a little bit more to the south, where it's going to run a little bit below some of that wind shear. So it may hang together and then approach the Caribbean. So the setup, while they're close together, the setup is a little bit different. So again, keeping an eye on Florida today for that severe weather. This area here shoots to Bermuda, as expected. Bermuda tonight into tomorrow. This here, a tropical depression, and this back here, that is what could become a named system, but either way, has the potential of bringing rain to the Caribbean. I want to zoom you way out in time. Watch this, and I want to show you a front as well. This is by the time we get into tonight, tomorrow morning. Heavier rain, a potential in Bermuda. We're going to have some downpours and gusty winds. That'll wrap up early tomorrow as that system departs, and it still may get a name. That system may become a named system. Now, this here, what was Tropical Storm Sean, that continues to fall apart. The wind shear doing a job on that. But you see this one a little bit more to the south, just what I was mentioning to you. That'll work its way closer to the Caribbean. But looking long term, there's a lot of players out there, and what I'm going to be watching out for is actually a pretty big time front that is going to be sweeping through the United States. There's actually going to be a couple of them, and yes, some of these fronts are going to dive through the Gulf of Mexico, so we are going to start to get some at least subtle temperature differences, slight drops in humidity, northern Caribbean back through the Gulf. Now, this is a week from now, so this is way out in time, but I want to show you exactly what I'm looking at. So this area that is going to approach the Caribbean, you see it right here. It could become a tropical storm, and then there is this front right here that may bring us a little bit in the way of cooler weather, or at least less hot weather, over toward Belize, for example. Well, there's going to be a front here. If this front is fast, it would turn this before it gets into the Caribbean. If this front is a little bit slower and kind of hangs back, whatever this area is would move into the Caribbean with hopefully some welcome rain, but it could also be a tropical storm. So this is a week from now, so just to let you know what I'm seeing, again, in the short term, some wind shear out here. In the long term, it's really going to hinge on this front right here. That's what we'll be watching together. So we'll see how this evolves to see if it does, in fact, shoot into the Caribbean by late next week. But there is a potential of a tropical storm moving into the Caribbean once again. So I'm on top of that for you. This here, again, Tropical Depression Sean. This one is the one that's just been falling apart. The one behind it is the one that we're watching, and I'm going to keep a very close eye and monitor that as it gets toward the Caribbean. We're at the tail end of the wet season. Need to get some rain in spots, but we definitely don't need a big system rolling in. Now, we get out here, spotty showers and storms have been around. Rain chance hasn't been as high. Again, it's been higher through Florida, parts of the northern Bahamas with that system there. So showing you this, and then I want to dive into some of the forecasts. Spotty showers and storms are in Costa Rica, Panama, not for all of us, but still that elevated chance of rain. Trinidad, Tobago, Guyana, Suriname, past passing shower or thunderstorm this afternoon through this evening. Same thing in Jamaica, kind of hit or miss. You see no big areas of rain around. Could see a little spotty shower, British Virgin Islands, U.S. Virgin Islands, Puerto Rico, Haiti, the Dominican Republic. You may see some better chance of rain the next couple days, northern Bahamas. And then same thing tomorrow, Barbados. We could get a passing shower too. St. Lucia, Guadeloupe, Dominica, over toward Martinique. Grenada, rain chance kind of limited. And then flipping over as we get you into the weekend, you see some spotty showers, Guatemala and El Salvador. Keeping an eye on a hit or miss shower, Barbados, St. Lucia, down through Trinidad and Tobago. And of course, all eyes will be on what's going on off to the east and that next tropical wave that will be approaching. So we have Sean right now, which is a tropical depression. The next name on the list is Tammy. But Tammy, while it could be that system that's behind Sean, Tammy may also be what is moving into Bermuda tonight. That still may get a name. It could spin up a little bit more, and that may get a name at least briefly. Just two more names on the list after that, Vince and Whitney. So then we'd go to a backup list of names. They got rid of the Greek alphabet. They just have a supplemental list of names now. Adria, then Braylon, a couple of the names that we may get to. It's been a very active season, clearly. I want to touch upon the Eastern Pacific. This area here could develop right now, just kind of drifting off toward the west-northwest. I'll monitor that, keeping an eye on southwest Mexico, where we're still recovering from some of the damage and some of the rain that we had with Lydia. Now, and even Max. Now, Jamaica, again, spotty shower storm next few days through the weekend. Hit or miss storm, 30% chance of the Cayman Islands, a 20 to 30% chance the next couple days. Pop-up shower storm as we work our way into Trinidad and Tobago. We're going to have a couple storms around. Otherwise, if you don't have the rain, it is going to be hot. Grenada, rain chance 20 to 30%. 20% chance today in Barbados, 30% chance tomorrow in Barbados. As I was showing you, a few showers may move in with a little easterly flow. 20 to 30% chance the next few days in St. Lucia. 20% chance hanging on to that in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And a 30% chance over the next 2 days in Guadeloupe. We swing back toward Dominica, slightly higher chance today, not super high at all, but a 40% chance of a passing shower, 40% chance in Martinique, 20 to 30% chance the next few days in Puerto Rico, isolated storm around, about a 40% chance by Saturday, and again, a passing shower, British Virgin Islands, U.S. Virgin Islands, 1 or 2 moving by. Rain chance stays elevated in Bermuda, again, late today, tonight, into early tomorrow. Tropical storm conditions will be moving in. We've been covering that together. Time frame has stayed the same. Antigua and Barbuda, rain chance about 10 to 20%, 20% chance. St. Kitts and Nevis and Montserrat, in a very limited 10% chance in Anguilla. Small chance of a shower or two. 20% chance St. Martin, Saba, over towards Statia. A 20% chance in Belize. And again, Belize, will keep an eye on these fronts in the United States that will move through parts of the Yucatan, into the Bahamas and back toward Belize. Bahamas, highest chance today is at 50% chance northern zones with those big storms that have been rolling off parts of the Carolinas and in particular Florida. Yucatan, hit or miss shower storm, 20% chance. 20% chance for the Turks and Caicos. Haiti, a pop-up shower storm, 1 or 2 around. Few isolated to scattered storms. In the Dominican Republic, rain chance 5 to 10% in Cuba. The rain chance is down. A 5 to 10% chance in Aruba and about a 5 to 10% chance in Curacao and over even in Bonaire. Now, Costa Rica, rain chance holding at 70%. Same thing in Panama. Not for all of us, but there will be some isolated flooding. About a 30% chance in northern Venezuela. Passing shower possible, Guyana. Passing shower possible as well in Suriname, and we're trying to fill the cisterns in some spots. So that strong tropical wave near Africa, that is what has my attention. Slow development possible out of that possible. I should put a little eye in there. It might reach the Caribbean. That hinges on that front. If the front is fast, it would curl this away. If the front is slower, it would allow it to move in. It could be a tropical storm. We'll be watching out for that next week. Watching these big fronts in the U.S. We'll start to see some gradual wind shifts across the Caribbean. 50 days left in the hurricane season. It is surely busy. Please stay safe. I'll keep you posted. All eyes on what's going on off the coast of Africa. I hope you have a good rest of your day.